Hello everyone. So now the big day has arrived for revealing the truth. The truth about Bornholm. Is there a tunnel or a shaft going under the island where you can visit a cave, or do we have a ski lift? Da-da! It is. The ski lift story is the true story. We do have an EU-funded ski lift. Not all of it is funded by the EU. The private farmer who owns this piece of land have put a lot of money into this and a lot of hard work. And I actually didn't tell the story correctly in my video where I put the challenge out to you. But I'm going to tell you now. I guess you cannot see how steep this slope is, but this slope actually categorizes as a black slope. This one more as a what's the next? Is there a blue slope? Or maybe it's a green slope. It's not at all as steep as this one. I guess you can see the difference. The story was that the farmer here and his grown-up son were in the kitchen one winter. It was 2006. In February, there was 1 meter of snow. That's 3 feet of snow outside. But they were sad and angry because they could not make it to go on a ski trip that year. They normally did Norway, Italy, France, wherever, Switzerland, Poland maybe, where the Danes go skiing. And they couldn't make it. The son had to go to school and Ole had something else to do. And they were angry. And mom of the farm said, well, why don't you go back in the forest here and play on the slopes? And they just looked at her. She was crazy. There was not these two hills. That was forest. All of it forest. And it is protected forest. So you're not actually allowed to cut it down unless you plant the double area somewhere else. So they were talking about it and we don't want to go play on the slopes in our farm, you stupid. And then a month went by and Ole came home and he said to his wife, well, application is sent. She'd forgotten all about that conversation. She says, what application? For what? Application to the EU. And he'd found this pot of money that said it was for farmers in poorer regions of the EU for making alternative income on farmland. So that was what it was. It was not for mountainous areas, as I told you in the first video. It was for poorer regions or outer skirt regions of the EU to make alternative earnings on farmland. And he applied for this, and they said, yeah, it's a pretty good idea. And you have to build it and the cabin, and it has to be there and be finished in 2008, or else we withdraw the money again. So they went to work, and it's a Bornholm, a local company that makes these cabins, and they started building. There was no money for this cabin. The farmer paid for that himself, and I think 3 or 4 friends came in on it. And they financed that. The EU only financed the lift itself. But the work of establishing it, I guess they had some Austrian experts come and help them. The company that sold the lift sent people here to help them build it, so it was done correctly. But everything else, he's financed himself. It is the most stupid story ever. And then they have put up a plaque here saying these people have supported us with money, materials, or work, and we have given up to 100% discount on whatever they have done. That means that, yeah, well, anyone who have supported them can come and ski here every day they want to when there is snow. Now, there doesn't really have to be snow. It has to be -2 degrees Celsius. I guess you can see the slope there. It's a bit more clear how steep it is. Maybe not, but that's difficult on film. But anyway, they started felling these 2 slopes, felling all the trees on a very, very steep slope. And then behind here, that's his forest as well. They planted the double of that area they cut down is planted over here in the back. And here's a small pond. And the water from this is sometimes too hot to go into the ski cannon. So the warm water from the lake gets in the cabin where they have installed heat tubes or water tubes in the floor. So the cabin is heated up by the warmer water from the pond. And when they retract the warm water from the pond, the cold water is left, and that goes in the ski cannon that then shoots snow out on the slopes at night. Yeah. So, and this is his field. He's a farmer with a lot of land, and all of that extra fun that they have, he paid for himself and those people who supported him, who could afford to support it. And then, as I told you, they make hot chocolate and coffee. They're not allowed to sell waffles or cakes or food of any kind because they don't have an approved restaurant kitchen for that. So you're not allowed in Denmark to just bake a cake in your own kitchen and get down here and sell it. But coffee and hot chocolate, that's okay. And I'm gonna take you round the corner. I'll see if I can make it a bit fast because I'm just running. I'm running. I'll tilt the camera a little bit, but I'm gonna show you the snow machine, a slope machine, because he used to draw the snow cannon up by the tractor until twice, where it almost tilted backwards and was dragging him down the slope. And his wife said, "Now you gotta stop being an idiot and get a proper machine to do it." And then they invested in a monster machine that can transport the snow cannon, and that can also smooth out the slopes. So, see, the harvest is well on the way. All the grains coming in. I guess this is wheat and barley. Here we go. Piston bully. Pist is slope. Danish. And look at that. The caterpillar. This is not rubber. This is iron. This is sturdy iron. And this one drives up the slope and down the slope and smoothens the snow out. So that's a little monster machine that EU had nothing to do with. That's what they bought for their own private money. And do they make money out of selling ski lift carts? No, they don't. Well, it costs 300 kroner for a whole day. And as I told you in the video, about 1 week a year we have enough snow, or it's cold enough to make snow. Maybe 2 weeks, and of course there are colder winters too, but it's not really that much. But they open, and they're out here in the middle of the night moving the snow cannon. I think it's 4 or 5 hours it's at the same spot and then it has to be moved and water into it. I think it's so much fun that they have done that in the middle of Bornholm. And Bornholm is a granite island, as I told you, and there's absolutely no hole going down in the middle of it and no cavern under. There's only the ocean and the granite. But it would be interesting if there was. But there's not. That was a lie. That was a lie. But the ski lift is absolutely true. And the funniest story I know in the world. And I didn't believe it when I was told. I actually lived right down there behind those trees was my farm where I lived some years ago. So this is my hood, and my neighbor, my neighbor's very helpful with anything I needed. With my little tractor, he always came over and said, "Yep, I can do that." I haven't had any need for the piste bully, the slope bully, but that's what he does over here. So that was the story, friends. We have a ski lift, EU subsidized ski lift on the island of Bornholm in Denmark. Happy for you who thought that it was true, and for you who thought it was a lie. I don't blame you. So did I when I heard it the first time. It's the craziest story, but very much fun. So I'll see you on the next one, see if I can find a new challenge for you or a new site to see on Bornholm. I'm still here for about a month. So try to comment and say what you would like me to show you. Okay? See you on the next one. Bye bye.